Hi everyone, thank you for joining me here on I See Melanie. Today we'll be talking about Season 3, Episode 6 of The Bear entitled Napkins. Now this is a Tina-centric episode where we get to learn a bit more of Tina's backstory, in particular how she came to be a part of The Bear, or the beef actually. So let's get into it. I was very happy to see that Tina got her own episode this season. And this episode was actually directed by Ayo, so that's pretty neat, getting to see her work behind the camera this time. And yeah, so Tina, I don't think she really got that much shine this season in general. So again, having her own episode was very great. And basically the story shows her, she's working at a company for 15 years. She likes her job. She does her job well. She gets along well with her coworkers, but she gets laid off one day. And this is a story I can relate to very well because this girl has been laid off more times than she'd like to admit. And she's also looking for a job right now. And I understand the struggles, even though our situations aren't exactly the same. The themes are, I think, very resonant to me and to a lot of people out there right now, a lot of people in my boat. So she has a husband. She's got a kid. Her husband has been working as, I think, a doorman or like a concierge of some sort for a while. And he's been saying, I'm going to get this promotion. But it really hasn't come as yet. And of course, she's got to pay for rent. She's got to pay for her kid, herself, and everything. And she's very stressed out and she's looking for a new job. And so this is where our situations kind of differ in a way that she has no degree. And she's been working at this one place for a very long time. And so because she's been working at this place for a long time, she hasn't applied for a job in a long time. And she has seen a whole lot of changes in the job market. For one, when she was walking around the city with paper resumes going to stores, I was like, wow, that really took me back because I'm younger than Tina. But I remember doing that exact same thing. Now I cannot even imagine printing out my resume and giving it to people. But yeah, that's what we used to do. And she is seeing everything that she's applying for, the people at the offices or the stores and stuff are people half her age, which I can't really relate to that so much, but it's a completely different shift. And then going to apply online and going on LinkedIn and all these different changes. When she applies for a job, one that she saw posted, she finds out from the young person working at the front desk that, hey, there's no job available anymore, so sorry. And I can relate to that. Side note, you guys probably don't care about this, but I applied to a job and I was doing it. I did an interview and they said, okay, you're going to the next interview. And they gave me a project to work on. And I got like a huge, a Word document with the instruction. I got an Excel sheet with numbers. I was supposed to, extract, whatever meaning I took out of it to put in this PowerPoint presentation. Did all that, was about to email it off to the recruiter, like the HR person. Then I got an email from the hiring manager saying, oh, we hired already. So, sorry, why don't you apply to us next year? Okay. So I completely understand the degree of frustration she was experiencing, especially, she's trying so hard and all these obstacles are being put in the way. And so obviously I have my personal bias as I'm telling you. But I feel like right now, it is so resonant because this girl has applied to so many jobs. I have gone through one job I applied to. I did 6 interviews. I have never done 6 interviews and I didn't get it, right? It's a big social media company that I'm sure a lot of you have used today, especially if you're a woman. I won't say which one. Anyway, 6 interviews with the project, of course, that I spent a whole lot of time on. And yeah, it's just so wild out there. Anyway, she goes to the Bear and she gets a sandwich and Richie is nice to her, gives her one on the house, right? And then she goes to the room to eat and she ends up bawling. And again, not to inject my personal life into this, I'm going to, but I probably shouldn't be admitting this on the internet, but whatever. Many years ago, I went to an HR recruiting place and, not being able to find a job. I ended up crying in front of the recruiter, which I did not plan on doing. I did not plan on doing. I was just so frustrated. I didn't know what to do. So when she ends up crying and she sees Mikey and he comes up and he talks to her, and we can see, of course, there's a bunch of mayhem going on at the beef because that's what happens there. But her talking to Mikey, him taking the time to reach out to her, to talk to her, meant so much to her, right? And sometimes those little moments, people reaching out to you, strangers, can make your day so much better. I know this from personal experience. And he's so inviting, and he's talking about the community they have there and all that, and that just makes her feel so at ease. She sees these kids, all the kids she's seeing when she's applying to jobs, and they've got like that hunger, and she's happy for them. She wishes she had that herself. And of course, we know later on that Mikey offers her a position. He says, it's not the best place in the world, but it's really, really great. And that sometimes, obviously you want other things in a organization you're working for to give to you, but having that camaraderie and that encouragement and that community in a workplace, it does go very far. I can say this from my personal experience. Again, I gotta stop talking about myself so much, but this again was a very resonant episode. I'm always happy to see Mikey pop up on an episode of The Bear because it gives richness to the entire experience, right? He was the nucleus that brought all these people together, that created this environment of a family. It's a little chaotic, but it still works. And yeah, he was just such a uniting presence that, obviously we're not going to see real Mikey in the show, but it would be so interesting to see like how he would be in The Bear, like the new high-end restaurant now. It's always nice to see Jon Bernthal pop up on the show. I love Jon Bernthal. I first learned of him from watching The Walking Dead when he was Shane. And so even though like his character was questionable, I just loved him as an actor, his screen presence and everything. And yeah, I'll take Jon Bernthal on my screen all day long. I'll say this is my favorite episode of the season thus far. So 6 episodes in, this is my favorite. And again, this resonated with me a lot. It's resonating with me right now. And I know it's resonating with a lot of people in North America and Canada and stuff. Like today, I was just reading about like all these layoffs that there's this big media company in Canada called Chorus. They laid off 25% of their workforce today. Could you like a quarter of your workforce? And that's just one. Another brand, one of my old clients, they laid off a bunch of people across the world on Friday or Thursday. And I see this story all the time. Speaking of LinkedIn, every day on my feed, I see, I got laid off. I was impacted by a layoff. Like it's every single day now. And so the job market is hard. It is hard for me. It is hard for me. It's hard for so many people. So this episode, again, not to repeat myself, was so resonant and I really appreciate being there. So with that being said, if you want to leave a thanks on one of my videos, I would appreciate that as well. You don't have to, obviously. But yeah, so that is it for me right now. I need to rewatch episode 7 because I have watched the entire series by now. So I need to rewatch 7 so I can come back to you guys with a review of it. And that will be shortly. I will see you back here on I See Melanie. And until then, have a great day. Make sure you like, subscribe, and all that good stuff. I'll see you later, okay? Bye.